Look up that they don't want to see you winning. They want to see you in a penitentiary. What up, YouTube? I am your host, Scotty Reacts, also known as Scotty is Live. And today, if you heard the news, Kodak Black FBI, open up! Is facing that motherfucking time. Let's get into it. This is a video by 1090 Jake. Let's see what this brother got to say.
Kodak Black just got arrested for drug trafficking in Orlando, apparently after shots were fired. Quick pause, because close to 1 a.m. when officers were dispatched after multiple calls reporting gunfire and multiple vehicles parked where the shots originated. Arriving at the scene, officers observed several people gathered around two running vehicles with the headlights on. Approaching a BMW SUV, officers immediately smelt burnt cannabis coming from the vehicle. The driver was asked if he had a medical card, to which he said,
"You niggas be fucking up with that shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, literally, that's the fastest way to get your shit searched. Now, they gonna use that excuse regardless, but still, don't give them any probable cause, my nigga."
Said he did not, and officers also observed what appeared to be an open container protruding from under the passenger seat. They were in West Orlando off Mercy Drive.
If it's in plain view, the cops can search your shit regardless. I'm not gonna lie. You literally hide your shit if you doing anything illegal. I don't condone that though.
A crime-ridden neighborhood made famous by rappers such as Glock 9. Based on the area, the smell of cannabis, reports of shots fired, and the driver having a suspended license, officers found probable cause to search the vehicle. A bag in the trunk contained 56 grams of cannabis in sealed marked bags, and a metal container containing a pink substance testing positive for ecstasy. While continuing the search, a man—
See the 56 grams? It's like, yeah. That's like 3 ounces or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but it's that pink ecstasy that's gonna fuck him up. Not gonna lie.
Male identified as Bill Capri, aka Kodak Black, approached officers and observed the search. After clearing the BMW, officers moved to a green Lamborghini Urus, finding James Tweedy sleeping in the back seat. Next to him laid a leather bag. Officers opened the front passenger door and without entering could see a white powdery substance on a $100 bill on the floorboard. Next to the $100 bill was a pair of pink scissors, the same scissors seen in an Instagram post by Kodak Black 7 days prior to this incident. The two rings on the floorboard—
Oh yeah, they don't want to see you winning. They want to send you back to the goddamn penitentiary, my boy. Yeah, my boy had tunnel vision. Hey, shoot. You gotta keep them yes men from around you.
Rings worn by Kodak. Officers woke Tweedy up to search the vehicle, and as he exited, he reached down towards his waist and his shirt slightly came up. Officers could see he was armed, and they'd remove a holstered Glock 19 off his waist, an extended magazine from his jacket, and $13,985 in his pockets.
Drugs, money, and guns don't mix. Especially drugs and guns. They don't fucking mix. Literally.
Tweedy would state the firearm was his and he had a concealed carry license, but would also state nothing in the vehicle was his. He'd claim he won the money at the casino, but could not provide any receipts. Searching the Lamborghini, they'd start with the leather bag that was laying next to Tweedy, finding over 28 grams of cannabis. Because he was the only occupant and the bag was directly next to him, he'd be charged with felony possession of cannabis over 20 grams and possession of a concealed firearm and the commission of a felony. Another bag on the rear passenger seat contained 27 grams of ecstasy, $37,000, and multiple documents with the name Bill Capri on them. Even Kodak's federal prison ID card would be found in the bag, along with a bottle of promethazine. That same bag would be seen on Kodak Black's Instagram days prior. They'd also find his gun lighter that he can be seen with on multiple occasions. Everyone on scene—
Kodak Black, I ain't gonna lie. We gonna send some prayers to you, cause I ain't gonna lie. Y'all got my nigga looking crazy out here.
was asked if the bag belonged to them, and they all denied ownership. When Kodak was informed of the money in the bag, he attempted multiple times to have the money turned over to him, claiming it belonged to his business, but he would not claim the bag or its contents. Under the rear passenger floorboard, officers found a Glock 23, and again, everyone denied ownership. Now, this took place back in November, and for some reason, it took until April 17th, 2026 for officers to receive an FDLE report identifying the substance found in the pink bag was 25 grams of ecstasy. The legal trafficking weight for this drug is only 14 grams, giving probable cause to charge Kodak Black with trafficking MDMA 14 to 200 grams. This charge carries up to 30 years in state prison, 3 years being mandatory, and a $50,000 fine. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know how it is in other states, but Florida does not play when it comes to trafficking. And yes, he can get anywhere up to 30 years if he's convicted of this offense, but 3 of those years are mandatory, meaning he cannot get less than 36 months inside of prison. These are serious charges. A first-degree felony in Florida is the most serious felony you can have aside from a PBL, which would be punishable by life. They have not been playing when it comes to drugs in Florida, especially with things testing positive for fentanyl, because people are dying left and right, and they're even giving out murder charges if you're caught selling that shit and someone dies. Bradford Cohen, Kodak's lawyer, would tell TMZ the arrest was a coordinated surrender in which police searched a vehicle with one passenger who was not Kodak. Cohen said cops found a bag containing several items, including a bottle of prescription cough syrup, which allegedly had Kodak's fingerprint on it. Now, this is a clear-cut example of a lawyer lawyering, saying it was just...
Now, he can pay best lawyers, but literally, he's still fucked regardless. Not gonna lie. I would be surprised if, I hope he makes it through, but I would be fucking surprised. Not gonna lie.
Just several items in a bag, and one of them just so happened to be a prescription bottle of cough syrup, as if we haven't seen Kodak recording himself sipping lean all over social media. The lawyer also wouldn't mention the 25 grams of ecstasy, Kodak's rings and scissors found next to the $100 bill with ecstasy on it. There's a lot of ways in which this case really looks bad. What's interesting though is Tweety, who was found with a felony amount of weed and a gun on him, just got his case dropped. The very same day, Kodak gets arrested. Suspicious. And I'll say this, right? To hear, yeah, these are the new metas. To hear how all of this played out. Initially in the report, it said Kodak's fingerprint wasn't found on anything inside of that bag. There was a Frisbee, there was the bottle of lean, there was multiple items. His fingerprint wasn't found, but the thing is, they can clearly tell this is his bag. He's seen in pictures and videos possessing this bag and other items in the bag, and they even found items, documents with his name on them, including his federal prison ID. To have a federal prison ID in the same bag as an amount of ecstasy that will send you back to prison is insane, to me at least. Maybe not to Kodak, but in all seriousness, Kodak's lawyer said, to sum it up, he can't wait to beat this case, and they stay charging Kodak with some bullshit. This is my perspective on that. Sometimes people need to go to jail to sober up. And I understand this lawyer has a father-son relationship with Kodak, and I'm not knocking that. And he is a lawyer, he's doing his job. But you know how sometimes parents let the police take the kid or teach him a lesson? The thing about jail is it sobers you up. And unless you have crazy access to mad shit. Depends on where you go, really. Nobody wants to see Kodak overdose. And I've had this same viewpoint with multiple videos that I've covered. I don't care if it's the Island Boy.
Not gonna lie, like, that was my main concern with, like, Kodak. I'm like, who the fuck is around you? Like, I'm like, nah, he obviously needs some fucking help. Like, when y'all saw him, like, on Castanet and shit like that, when he was just, like, tripping and Castanet was like, what the fuck? Yeah, like that was a sign right there. He ain't had nobody in his fucking corner. Whoever's running his corner, I ain't gonna lie, y'all doing bad as fuck. Swear to God.
Boys, I don't care who it is, what they've done that I disagree with. Finding sobriety is key in this situation. Kodak is a talented rapper, hands down. Some people want to see his downfall, some people don't. But at the end of the day, nobody wants to see him go out like a Jimi Hendrix or any superstar that's overdosed and it's cost them their career. Everyone sees the signs and can see how dangerous this is. People have seen him performing and looking like he's gone, and he did a stream with Kai Cenat, threw something up, popped it. Nobody wants to see Kodak go out that way. Nobody wants to see a person go out that way. I hope somehow he's able to find sobriety, enter a program, do something in which he can get away from this drug use. Because at the end of the day, even if it's like, bro, your entourage around you, these dudes that are around you, you got bags of this shit. They're not trying to get caught up with that. You know what I mean? And it's you that's primarily wanting to use the shit. From what we can tell, we know you want some drugs. You know what I mean? Everyone knows that. And I'm not gonna down him.
But if I was in that predicament, I would just tell him, nigga, you on your own, my nigga. Like, I'm not helping you get this shit, my nigga. Like, I'll protect you, but I'm not going to, you see what I'm saying? Even still, I'll be like, why hire me, my nigga? Hire security, my nigga. But anyway, let's continue.
For it, because a lot of people have been there. I just hope that he finds a way out of that cycle. It's not the prison time I'm worried about. It's more so doing something and not waking up. And TMZ is the first to report the news. And that's why it's like, with his lawyer, like, oh, I'm confidently gonna beat this. When you keep beating these cases, it's almost like enabling someone to keep doing it. Because if you have somebody that gets away with all the shit they're doing, why would they stop doing it? They get away with it every time.
But I will say this though, Kodak Black needs rehab, like bad, like prison time will do something, but it's not gonna stall the inevitable. Like, he needs psychological help and therapy. You see what I'm saying? He needs a specialist.
That's just my humble perspective on the situation. Obviously, nobody wants to see Kodak go to prison. But if it would take you a good 30 to 60 days to sit down and get your thoughts together, sober up, get back on a fitness journey, and, start working out, getting in shape. There's just so many different paths he can go. I don't know what he is as far as religion. I believe a Hebrew Israelite. I just hope that he's able to tap in with his higher power and find a better way to carry out the blessing he's received, that is superstardom, as becoming a rapper. And nobody wants to see Kodak Black go out bad. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. Let me know y'all's thoughts and comments.
Shout out 1090 Jake. But I ain't gonna lie, Kodak Black, he's fucking talented. Like, it's sad to see like how the fuck this shit turned out. But also, long as that nigga's in there, and even though you still can get shit up in fucking prison and shit, like fucking K2 and shit, all that bad shit, like literally, like, kids, stay away from all this shit. Anyway, hit that sub for both of our channels. The original video will be down below in the description, and my other channels will be over here.